What if the very prayer you keep repeating is the reason your desire has not arrived? What if every request, every plea, every quiet wish whispered into the night is silently confessing the one thing you do not want to confess, that you do not yet have it? There is a difference between the one who asks and the one who claims. The one who asks bows before an absence. The one who claims walks toward a possession. And reality, in its quiet and faithful way, will always confirm whichever posture you choose to occupy. Stay with me until the end of this message, because what you are about to hear may end years of waiting, years of effort, and years of misunderstanding. You are not meant to chase what is already yours. You are not meant to beg for what was already given. You are meant to recognize it, accept it, and claim it as the rightful heir of every desire your imagination has ever conceived. You already have it. The only thing missing is your acknowledgement. Most people spend their entire lives in the posture of the asker. They wake in the morning and ask for a better day. They look at their bank account and ask for relief. They look at their relationships and ask for love. They look at their own bodies and ask for healing. From sunrise to sunset, their inner life is a long, unbroken sequence of requests directed at some invisible authority they imagine to be elsewhere. And yet the desires they seek do not arrive. The relief never quite reaches them. The love feels just beyond their grasp. The healing seems always one prayer away. They cannot understand it. They are sincere, they are devoted, they are persistent, they believe they are doing everything right. But within that very sincerity lies the hidden mistake. To ask is to imply distance. To request is to confirm separation. To plead is to declare that what you desire belongs to someone else, and you are hoping, perhaps, to be granted a portion of it. Reality cannot deliver to you what your inner posture insists is not yet yours. This is why the most devoted seekers are often the most frustrated. They have prayed for years. They have visualized for years. They have done the techniques, repeated the affirmations, written the lists, said the words, and still the desire sits just out of reach, like a horizon that retreats every time they take a step forward. The problem is not their effort. The problem is the posture beneath the effort. A man cannot simultaneously ask for something and possess it. The asker and the owner are two different identities. The one occupies lack, the other occupies fulfillment. And reality, being nothing more than the faithful reflection of the identity you accept as yours, can only return to you the state you most consistently occupy. If you wish to receive, you must stop asking. You must begin claiming. You must begin walking through the world as the one to whom it already belongs. Here is the truth that overturns everything. Your desire is not in the future. It is not at some distant point in time waiting for the right alignment of circumstances, the right effort, the right luck, or the right intervention from above. Your desire exists now, fully formed, complete, finished, waiting only for the inner recognition that allows you to step into possession of it. You are not meant to manifest as one who lacks. You are meant to acknowledge as one who owns. Consider the heir of a great estate. The wealth is already his. The land is already his. The inheritance has already been written, signed, and sealed. He does not have to ask for it. He does not have to earn it. He does not have to beg for permission to enter the house that already bears his name. He simply has to know. The moment he knows, he walks differently. He speaks differently. He sits in the chairs of the estate as one who belongs in them. He opens the doors not as a guest but as a resident. He does not ring the bell of his own home. This is the posture you have forgotten. You have been ringing the bell of a house you already own. You have been petitioning for an inheritance that was already written in your name the moment the desire entered your imagination. Because the desire itself is the evidence. The desire is the announcement. The desire is the inner whisper of a reality that already exists within you and is waiting only for your acceptance to express itself outwardly. Nothing is given to you that you do not first possess inwardly, and nothing remains withheld from you when you finally take inward possession of it. This is not metaphor. This is not poetry. This is the operative law of consciousness, that the inner state, accepted as true, must externalize itself in the world of form. Reality has no other function than to mirror the identity you occupy. So when you continue to ask, you continue to confirm that you do not yet have. And reality, being faithful, gives you back exactly what you keep insisting upon the experience of not yet having. But when you begin to claim, you confirm that it is already yours. And reality, again being faithful, must begin the quiet, unseen work of arranging itself to deliver the proof of what you have already accepted within. You do not need to be granted what you already own. You need only to remember that you own it. Picture two men standing at the same gate. The first man stands outside with his head bowed. He holds his hat in his hands. He shuffles his feet. He raises his voice to whomever might hear him and begs to be let in. He says, "Please, I have waited so long. I have tried so hard. Surely there is room for me inside." The gate does not open. The gatekeeper does not answer. The man stays outside for years, growing weary, growing bitter, growing convinced that perhaps the gate was never meant to open for someone like him. The second man stands at the same gate, but he does not bow. He does not beg. He does not raise his voice. He simply walks forward, places his hand upon the latch, and opens it. He enters because he knows the house is his. He has the key in his pocket. He has the deed in his name. He does not require permission, because permission was never required of an owner. This is the difference between asking and claiming. It is not a matter of volume. It is not a matter of effort. It is not a matter of how badly you want it. It is a matter of who you believe yourself to be at the moment you approach the gate. The asker is a stranger to his own inheritance. The claimer is the one who remembers. Or think of a seed buried in dark soil. The seed does not ask the earth to become a tree. The seed does not beg the sun for light. The seed does not negotiate with the rain. The seed simply assumes its identity. It assumes itself as the tree it is destined to become, and every law of nature rushes forward to confirm that assumption. You are no different. Your imagination is the seed. The world is the soil. The unseen laws of consciousness are the sun and the rain. The only question is whether you will assume your identity as the tree or remain stuck in the small, fearful posture of the asking seed that doubts whether the earth has any room for it. Or consider the king who forgets he is king. He wanders through his own kingdom in rags. He pleads with his own subjects for a meal. He sleeps on the cold stones of his own palace garden, never realizing the throne behind him bears his name. The crown above him was forged for his head. The treasury beside him was filled with riches placed there for him to inherit. A man may forget he is a king, but the kingdom does not stop being his. You have forgotten what is yours. This message is the reminder. Stop standing at the gate of your own life. Stop pleading for entry into your own house. Stop bowing before doors that were carved in your own name. The estate of fulfillment has always been yours. The only thing required of you is to walk forward as the one to whom it belongs. So how do you make this shift in practice? Not through louder affirmations, not through more elaborate visualizations, not through writing your wish 100 times on a sheet of paper before bed. These are tools, and tools have their place, but they are not the substance of the work. The substance of the work is the inner posture, the posture of the claimer. It begins with a quiet inner decision made in the secret place where no one else can witness it. A decision that, beginning now, you will no longer rehearse the story of one who is waiting. You will rehearse the story of one who already has. Notice the difference in the inner conversation. The asker says, "I hope it will come." The claimer says, "It is mine." The asker says, "Maybe one day, if I am lucky." The claimer says, "It has been given. The matter is settled." The asker says, "What if it never happens?" The claimer says, "I do not entertain that question because it does not belong to my identity." Listen carefully to your own inner speech throughout the day. Do not try to suppress the asking voice. Simply notice it. Whenever you catch yourself bargaining, pleading, hoping, or doubting, gently return to the inner posture of one who already possesses. This is not pretending. This is not denial. This is the deepest realism your consciousness is capable of, because what you accept inwardly is the only true reality. What appears outwardly is the residue of what was already accepted within. Walk through your day with the unhurried calm of one who has already received. When you sit at the table for a meal, sit as one who is provided for, not as one who fears scarcity. When you open a message, open it as one who expects good news, not as one who braces for disappointment. When you meet a stranger, meet them as one who is loved, not as one who is searching for love. The smallest gestures begin to carry the new identity. You will notice resistance at first. The mind, accustomed to the posture of asking, will protest. It will say, "But it has not yet arrived. Look at the bank account. Look at the unanswered messages. Look at the unhealed pain." And here, you must remain firm. The visible world is a reflection of what was already accepted long ago. To wait for the visible to change before adopting the new state is to confirm the old state forever. You change the state first. The visible follows. This is the secret order of creation. Do not negotiate with appearances. Appearances are the past speaking. They cannot speak of the future, because the future is being authored this very moment by the identity you choose to occupy in silence. Sleep is also a powerful instrument. Before you drift into sleep, occupy the feeling of one who has already received. Not the words, the feeling, the relief, the quiet satisfaction, the naturalness of fulfillment. Let that feeling be the last impression upon your consciousness before sleep, and you will be planting that identity into the soil of your subconscious mind, where it will take root in ways the waking mind cannot perceive. Then wake and continue. Walk through the day as the one who already has. Sleep again as the one who already has. Repeat this for as many days as it takes for the new state to become natural, until it no longer requires effort, until you forget there was ever another way to be. When the new state becomes natural, the manifestation becomes inevitable. Notice now how everything changes when you make this single shift. You no longer scan the world for evidence. You no longer interrogate every event for clues about whether your desire is still coming. You no longer measure progress by how things appear, because you have stopped giving appearances the authority they never deserved. The world becomes quiet around you, not because the world has changed, but because you have stopped fighting it. The one who asks is always at war with what is. He is always wishing it were different. He is always pushing against the current circumstances, hoping they will rearrange. His life is exhausting because he is constantly trying to bend reality with the force of his desire. The one who claims has no such war. He sees the current circumstances and is undisturbed. He knows they are echoes of an older state, and echoes always fade. He knows the new state has already been accepted, and what has been accepted within must, in its own time, appear without. He does not push. He does not strain. He does not demand timelines from a universe that operates outside of time. He simply walks forward in the calm certainty of one who already owns. This is what Neville Goddard meant when he spoke of living in the end. Not visualizing the end and then returning to lack. Not imagining the end and then closing the eyes and resuming the posture of waiting. Living in the end. Dwelling there. Inhabiting that identity until it becomes the natural air your inner life breathes. You are not meant to visit the fulfilled state like a tourist. You are meant to move in. You are meant to take up residence there. You are meant to become the one for whom the desire is no longer a desire but a fact. Some people will hear this and think it sounds arrogant. They will say, "How can I claim what I do not yet see?" But the question itself reveals the misunderstanding. You cannot see it precisely because you have not yet claimed it. The seeing follows the claiming. The visible follows the invisible. The mirror cannot show a face that has not first appeared before it. Others will say, "What if I am wrong? What if the desire is not mine to claim?" But consider this. If the desire entered your imagination, it entered for a reason. Desires are not random. They are not foreign intrusions. They are the inner whispers of a soul announcing what already belongs to it. The very fact that you have conceived of a thing is the announcement that the thing has already conceived of you. Nothing comes to you that you do not first invite by your inner state. Nothing remains away from you that you do not first refuse by your inner state. The kingdom is within, the estate is within, the treasury is within, the inheritance is within. The world outside is simply the long, faithful echo of what has already been accepted in the unseen chambers of the heart. So the question is never, "Can I have it?" The question is always, "Will I claim it?" Will you walk forward as the one to whom it already belongs? Will you sit at the table as one who is invited and not as one who is hoping to be invited? Will you speak of your life as one who has received and not as one who is still waiting? This is the inner reformation that precedes the outer transformation. And when it occurs, when the inner shift truly takes hold, the outer world begins its quiet work without your interference. Doors open in ways you did not arrange. Conversations turn in directions you did not steer. Opportunities appear in forms you did not foresee. People begin to treat you as one who already possesses, because you have begun to treat yourself as one who already possesses, and the world is faithful in its mirroring. You will not be able to explain it to those who still bow at the gate. You will only be able to live it. And in living it, you will become the quiet evidence of a law that most people do not know exists. So as we come to the end of this message, take with you this single command: stop asking. Stop bargaining with a reality that does not negotiate. Stop pleading with a universe that does not respond to volume. Stop bowing before what was always meant to bow before you. Begin to claim. Begin to walk through the rooms of your life as the owner. Begin to enter every situation as the one for whom good is already arranged. Begin to speak inwardly as one for whom the matter is settled. The gift is given, the inheritance received. When the old voice rises within you and says, "But I do not see it yet," answer it gently and firmly. Say within yourself, "The seeing is not required, the claiming is required, the seeing will follow." When the world insists on showing you appearances that contradict your inner state, do not be moved. Appearances are the past. They cannot dictate the future. The future is shaped in silence, in the quiet inner posture of one who has already received. When fear whispers that perhaps you are wrong, perhaps this will not work, perhaps you are deceiving yourself, answer fear with stillness. Fear is the voice of the old asker. You are no longer that one. You are the claimer now. And the claimer does not entertain the questions of the one he has left behind. Walk slowly. Walk quietly. Walk with the unhurried calm of one who has already arrived. Speak less of what you hope for and more of what is, not to convince others, not to perform for an audience, but because the inner speech of the claimer no longer rehearses lack. Sleep as the one who has received. Wake as the one who has received. Move through the day as the one who has received. And one morning, sooner than you expect, the visible world will catch up with the invisible state you have been quietly occupying. You will look around and notice that the gate you once stood begging at has been open all along. The estate you once pleaded for entry into has always borne your name. The desire you once chased has stopped running because you have stopped chasing and begun to recognize. You already have it. You have always had it. The only work left to you, the only work that was ever yours to do, is to stop asking and start claiming what your imagination announced as yours. The moment it was first conceived within you, it is yours. Walk as the one to whom it belongs.